All right, let's talk about oregano. Yeah, I know, you're thinking pizza, you're thinking pasta sauce, but what if I told you that in its super concentrated oil form, it's this powerhouse being studied for everything from fighting off nasty bacteria to giving your immune system a boost? Today, we're going to unpack all of it, the science, the potential benefits, and, most importantly, the right way to use it safely. So yeah, it's way more than just a pizza topping. We all know and love that fragrant little herb, but when you transform it into a concentrated oil, well, that's when it really starts to show off its power. So the big question is, how do we get from that simple leaf in your garden to this potent stuff in a bottle? Okay, first things first, let's get one thing straight. The dried oregano in your spice rack and oregano oil are two completely different things. So let's take a closer look at how you get from that plant to this powerful extract. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have the oregano plant, which is actually part of the mint family. We dry the leaves, and boom, you've got your kitchen spice. But to get the oil, those air-dried leaves go through a process called steam distillation. And the key word here is concentration. It takes a massive amount of the herb to create just a tiny bit of this incredibly potent oil. So what is it that gives this oil all its supposed power? Well, it really comes down to a team of three superstar compounds. Let's meet this power trio that's responsible for all the magic. All right, meet the active team, Carvacrol, Thymol, and rosmarinic acid. You can kind of think of them like this. Carvacrol is the heavy hitter, the muscle. Thymol is the shield, the defender. And rosmarinic acid, that's the cleanup crew. These are all natural compounds called phenols, and they would give oregano its distinct, punchy smell and its power. Let's break down what each one actually does. Leading the charge is Carvacrol. This is the most abundant compound in oregano oil. It's the main event. In lab studies, it's been shown to actually stop certain types of bacteria from growing by basically punching holes in their outer membrane, causing them to fall apart. Pretty powerful stuff. Next up, we've got Thymol. Now think of this one as the defender. It's a natural antifungal, which is a big reason why you see it studied so much in relation to things like yeast infections. But beyond that, some research suggests it can also help support your immune system and protect your body against toxins. And rounding out our amazing trio is rosmarinic acid. This one is a seriously potent antioxidant. Its whole job is to be a bodyguard for your cells. It helps protect them from the damage caused by these nasty little things called free radicals. Those unstable molecules that are linked to aging and all sorts of health issues. So now that we know who the key players are, let's see what they can do when they're all working together. The research suggests that these compounds can act like a natural protective shield, helping our bodies fight off all sorts of threats. We're going to dive into 4 key areas where this stuff shows promise. Its potential as a natural antibiotic, its role as that powerful antioxidant we just talked about, its ability to fight yeast infections, and even some really fascinating, but I have to stress, very early research into its potential cancer-fighting properties. So, thanks mainly to that muscle compound, Carvacrol, some early studies suggest oregano oil might help fight off bacteria like P. aeruginosa and even E. coli. Now, while that sounds amazing, it's super important to remember this is early days. We really need more research in people to know for sure. Okay, now this is where the research gets really interesting, but it's also where we have to be the most careful. In lab settings, and I mean literally in test tubes, not in people, Carvacrol has actually been shown to stop the growth of certain lung, liver, and breast cancer cells. And in some cases, it even caused them to die. But, and I absolutely cannot stress this enough, this is extremely early test tube research only. No human trials have been done. We are a very, very, very long way from this being considered any kind of cancer treatment. So, fascinating, yes. A cure, absolutely not. All right, so moving on from fighting outside threats, some research also hints that oregano oil might help regulate our internal systems, kind of promoting a sense of balance from the inside out. Let's run through 4 more potential benefits here. First, those active compounds, Carvacrol and Thymol, are being looked at for their potential to help lower cholesterol. Then there's gut health. The oil's antibacterial properties might help create a better balance of good and bad bacteria. Those same compounds also show some anti-inflammatory effects in studies. And finally, believe it or not, Carvacrol is even being explored for a possible role in weight management. But you probably knew this was coming, right? We have to pump the brakes again. For all of these potential benefits, from your cholesterol all the way to weight loss, the evidence is still just emerging. We really need bigger, better studies on humans before we can say anything for sure. And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole discussion: how to use it safely. Look, if you're curious about trying oregano oil, it is absolutely critical that you know how to do it the right way, because using it incorrectly can actually be dangerous.
Okay, everybody, please pay close attention here because this is vital. There are two main products you'll see. On the left, you've got oregano oil extract. This comes in capsules or tablets, and it's made to be swallowed as a supplement. On the right, you have oregano essential oil. This is that super concentrated liquid. It should never, ever be swallowed. It is only for using on your skin, and you absolutely must dilute it first.
So how do you use that essential oil safely? It's really simple, just 3 steps. First, you pick what's called a carrier oil, something gentle like coconut oil, olive oil, almond oil, whatever you like. Second, you dilute it. Seriously, just a few drops of that potent oregano essential oil into the carrier oil is plenty. And finally, you can gently massage that diluted mixture right onto your skin. And one last crucial piece of safety advice. Because these compounds are so potent, there's a chance they could interact with prescription medications you might be taking. So it's non-negotiable. If you're on any meds, you have to talk to your doctor or pharmacist before you even think about using oregano oil supplements. So after all that, what's the takeaway? Well, oregano oil is clearly a really potent tool from nature. It's packed with these powerful compounds, and it's backed by some promising, though again, very early research. But the real question isn't just what can it do? It's, is it right for you and your specific health situation? And you know what? That's a question that has only one correct answer. Before you try any new supplement, and that definitely includes oregano oil, your very first step always should be to talk to a healthcare professional. They're the only ones who can help you figure out if it's a safe and smart choice for you. Thanks so much for tuning on.